What's up again, guys? Yeah, it's me, your friendly neighborhood Dovahkiin, and welcome back to Project Toyota Rush TRD Sportivo. And before we begin, be sure to hit on the subscribe button for more great videos. Yes, in my previous episode, I said that my next vid is gonna be about my first 1000 km PMS. And I'm supposed to release this vid after the PMS episode. But for the greater good of the Rush community, I decided to share this DIY fix earlier. I don't have to elaborate on the Rush's vanity lights problem, because everyone in the community knows about it. All I can say, it's a perfect example of bullcrap design. But I'm here to solve the problem, so let's just jump right in. If you have this issue, the protocol is to go to your dealership and have it replaced without worry, because this is covered by warranty. But before that, you need to kill the lights, otherwise you might drain your battery or melt some parts of the mirror assembly. There are two ways to turn it off. The first one is via detaching a fuse, and the other is via opening and tweaking a component in the mirror assembly. Okay, on the fuse method. First, consult your owner's manual on how to access the fuse panel behind the glove box. On the diagram, just take note of the dome fuse, which is 5 amps. Now use the fuse puller to remove it. As simple as that. The downside of this one, all interior lights will be disabled as well. The front map, mid-dome, and luggage compartment lights. Then, follow protocol by bringing your Rush to your dealer. Okay, let's move on to the method that doesn't kill all your lights, but a more ballsy approach nonetheless. But before that, prepare these tools. 1. Zip ties. 2. Our OEM reversible screwdriver. 3. A pair of long nose pliers. And lastly, a knife. Alright, first loosen the bottom part of the mirror panel with a knife. If you are confident in your knife, also use it as a lever to pop out the panel. Otherwise, switch to the flat head of the screwdriver. Be careful because you don't want to chip the plastic. Now, the reveal. Take note of this component because it's the one causing trouble. Next, you can simply unscrew any of the two. I chose the left one because I don't know, simply because I can clearly see where it's leading to. By the way, I think this screw itself is connected to the main negative line. Anyway, secure this loose wire underneath the copper bar to prevent it from touching other components. Then again, follow protocol by visiting your dealer. Now, if you are not a DIY person, end the video here. But if you want to go in depth on the design flaw of this thing and how to fix it, ride along with me. Okay, I did strongly advise to go with protocol and have this replaced at the dealership. But I think, though I'm not 100%, the replacement part is the same model. And if you'll understand the blueprint of how this thing fails, you'll realize that replacing it with the same thing is pointless. Alright, let's just call the red faulty positive component as the switch. The switch takes input from the movement of the cover. It goes down and makes contact with this component when opened. Goes up, disengages contact when closed. Simple. However, what you're seeing right now is a busted switch, cause it should be positioned exactly like this, flush within the two frame-like markers. And the long arm of the switch should be between these two rectangular pins. Now you ask, how the heck did it move down there? The switch is held by round pins, similar to this one. However, they are not strong enough to tolerate the forces exerted by the mere repeated action of opening and closing the cover. My rush is less than 2 months old, and the round pins are already MIA. They were sliced clean off by the switch itself. And thus, we arrive at my DIY fix. But first, a disclaimer. I'm not forcing anyone with this. This is my way, and I'm just sharing it. You always have the freedom to think and act as you please. So, imitate at your own risk. Okay, I was overthinking for solutions, such as drilling holes and securing the switch via screws, disabling the switch, extending the line, and improvising a new switch, and the list goes on. But ultimately, I settled for a simple fix. Remember the zip ties? Yes, that kind of fix. I inserted a zip tie down here and extracted it up there. To make the extraction easier, bend the tip of the tie. Then, use the long nose to pull it out. This requires a lot of patience. Next, position the switch inside the frame-like markers and make certain that the long arm is between the two rectangular pins before you tightly fasten the tie. It should look something like this. Next, cleanly cut the excess tie and test if working as intended. If it does, subscribe to this channel, like this video, and follow this playlist. Obviously, zip ties don't last forever, so you can choose to add more ties as long as they fit inside the assembly. The advantage of this over the stiff round pins is that the ties are made of flexible nylon. If the switch moves back and forth horizontally, it's fine, because no sharp part of it is touching the tie. Moreover, what really matters is the fixation of the long arm between the rectangular pins. As long as it's sandwiched there, the switch won't fail. Now I'm gonna show you the efficacy of this DIY fix by subjecting it to my brand of moderate to rigorous testing. That was indeed quick and precise. I think now it's better than the OEM. Anyway, problem beyond solved. And that's all there is for now. Thanks for watching. Also, check out other videos from Sabbath Clan Philippines and subscribe. See you on my next vid. Peace out.